English definition make them boys go loco. They want my treasure so they get their pleasure.
Hi, I'm Michael, and this is a 10-minute crash course on segment addition, segment subtraction, angle addition, angle subtraction, supplements, and complements. You can expect to learn how to use all of these when writing proofs.
I'm yelling timber, you better move, you better dance, let's make a night you won't remember.
First we will start with segment addition, which is when B is in between A and C, then AB plus BC equals AC.
S is between D and T. If DS equals 20 and ST equals 40, then DST equals 60, according to the segment addition postulate.
Next we will review segment subtraction, which is when equal measurements are subtracted from equal measurements. The differences are equal.
If you know that AC equals BD, you can use segment subtraction to find out that AB equals CD, because you use the reflexive property to determine that BC equals BC.
Shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond.
Angle addition postulate states that if a point S lies in the interior of PQR, then PQS plus SQR equals PQR. Once again, that's if S lies in the interior of PQR, then PQS plus SQR equals PQR.
What you wanna say, and let the words fall out. Honestly, I wanna see you be brave. What you wanna say, and let the words.
Next we will review segment subtraction, which is when equal measurements are subtracted from equal measurements. The differences are equal.
The angle subtraction postulate is very similar to the angle addition, but in the opposite form. According to this isosceles triangle, in order to get AB, you take AC minus CB, and you end up with AB. And on the other side, in order to get DC, you take DB, and then you subtract CB, and you end up with CD, or DC.
No tricks, only diamonds under my sleeve. Give me the number, but make sure you holler before you leave.
Like me. I know you like me. I know you do.
Segment addition could be used here if you knew that AB is congruent to CD, and you know that BC equals CD because of the reflexive property. You could add up AB and BC to get AC, BC plus CB to get BD. Segment subtraction could also be used if you knew that AC equals CD, because AC minus BC equals AB, and DB minus CB equals CD. Angle addition could also be used here, because you know that ABC is congruent to DBE. And by looking at that, you can figure out that angle ABC plus CBD equals ABD. And coming from the other side, you can say EBD plus DBC equals EBC. And that's angle addition postulate.
Once in a lifetime means there's no second chance. So I believe.
Angles 1 and 2 are supplementary angles. Supplementary angles are two angles that sum up to 180 degrees. 180 degrees is the same thing as saying a straight line. So angles 1 and 2 form a straight line. Angle A, E. Angles 3 and 4 are also supplementary in this picture. They too form a straight line. Therefore, if angle 1 is congruent to angle 3, then angle 2 is congruent to angle 4. Along with the supplementary angles in this triangle, there are also complementary angles. Complementary angles are two angles that sum up to 90 degrees, which is a right angle, half of a straight line. Angles 5 and 6 in this picture are complementary. If you can see, they form a perpendicular bisector, which is the same thing as saying a right angle. Angles 7 and 8 are also complementary. Therefore, if angle 5 is congruent to angle 8, then angle 6 is also congruent to angle 7. That's the definition of supplementary and complementary angles.
Finally, we will review how to use complementary and supplementary angles in proofs. Complementary angles, as you know, are two angles that add up to 90 degrees. If you have two angles that are congruent, their complements will be congruent. For example, if you have two angles that are 30 degrees, their complements will both be 60 degrees. Since you know that angle 1 and 2 add up to 90 degrees and angle 3 and 4 add up to 90 degrees, and you know that angle 1 and 4 are congruent, you can conclude that 2 and 3 are also congruent because they are the supplements of two congruent angles. A common mistake would be skipping the necessary step where you state that angles 1 and 2 are complementary and angles 3 and 4 are complementary. Your reason would be that complementary angles add up to 90 degrees. After, you can go on to say that angle 2 is congruent to angle 3. Similarly, supplementary angles are two angles that add up to 180 degrees, and if you have two angles that are congruent, their supplements will be congruent as well. In this example, it is clear that angle JFO and angle LGM are congruent because they are both labeled 124 degrees. Therefore, their supplements, angle KFJ and angle MGN, are congruent because supplements of congruent angles are congruent. In proofs, you won't be given an exact degree, but as long as you know that two angles are congruent, it will work. For example, if you were given that angle A is congruent to angle B, you could prove that angle Y is congruent to angle 1 by saying that they are the supplements of A and B, and supplements of congruent angles are always congruent. Again, do not forget to state that angle 1 and angle A are supplementary, and angle B and angle Y are supplementary because they add up to 180 degrees.
And this concludes our lesson today for angle addition, angle subtraction, segment addition, segment of subtraction, supplements, and complements. Kim and I hope you learned as much as you could as possible for your midterm. If you have any questions, please take it up with the answer key and worksheet. By the way, there is a worksheet waiting for you on the desk. Please complete this worksheet and correct it with the answer key. Good luck!
With those sleigh bells jingling, ring, ting, tingling too. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you.